So the phrasing for this section, it's an 8-bar phrase, right? Minus this 2-bar intro, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, right? That's part of the transition. Starting from here, really the shape or the gesture we're making is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 3rd bar, 4th bar, 5th bar, 6th measure, 7th, 8th, onto the next transition section, okay? So that shape we're trying to create, the way it's notated in the music, it's crescendoing for 3 measures, and the arrival is in, what measure is that? 32, right? The arrival's in 32. And you can interpret it that way, where it's up for 3, down for 5. You could also do maybe up for 4 and make the 5th measure the arrival point. You know, whatever you choose to do, just make sure it's really clear, hey, this is the peak of the phrase, and now I'm moving away from the phrase. Again, the musical interpretation, that's something that you get to decide as a musician. Just make sure it's clear to the listener what it is that you're trying to convey, okay? So for this section, we have right hand just descends in thirds, E and G, F and A, G and B, A and C, and right back down. And then it goes past that E and G that we started at and goes to D and F. Okay, so that's the first 8 measures in the right hand. In the left hand, we start with this perfect 5th, E and B, and then we're just moving mallet 2. So E and B goes up to E and C, goes up to E and D, goes up to octaves, back down, E and D, right back in, back to the perfect 5th, and then we go down past the E and B to the perfect 4th, and then back to the perfect 5th. Okay, so if we put those together, you get this. Right? Right back down. Past the starting point, and then back to where you started. Okay? So you can make up an exercise for this section on your own. You can just play 8th notes for a measure on each chord. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then shift up. And you come back down, right, and so forth. Then you can do 2 beats on each one. Notice that you're pivoting from the wrist here as you're doing this. So this could be your warm-up. You know, a great way to save some time is to take the warm-ups you normally do, but instead of always just doing, you know, perfect 5ths or whatever, that's not a perfect 5th, perfect 5ths or whatever chord you normally use, use the tonalities and the chords from the piece that you're about to practice, and then you kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone. You're warming up, but you're also working the intervals and the chords that you're going to be playing in just a moment, right? So here we have this, and then eventually you could go down to 2 beats or then even 1 beat. Right, so that those chords and those intervals become super comfortable in your hands, okay? And so now you have the 1-3-1 motion in your left hand. You've got these ascending and descending thirds in your right hand. Let's talk about how to coordinate those 2 pieces together now. Okay, so very slowly. Right there on beat 3, they meet together, right? 1 and 2 and 3 and the key is just to go very, very slowly until you get this coordination. Just like all the other parts of this piece, once you get the coordination of it, it's easy. 1 and 2 and 3 and... The challenge is now, can you keep this fluid float on 1 and 3? Keep that left hand motion going, even though your right hand motion is doing a contrary. They're not really contrary. It's more like, you know, in John Riley's Art of Bebop Drumming book, he talks about this idea of interdependence. It's not 4-limb independence, but it's more about the interdependence or how the limbs are working together. Your right hand should know how your left hand is fitting with the other piece. So 1 and 2 and right there, you say, hey, yeah, 2 and 4, we're getting together there. So make sure you check in there. 2 mounts, 2 and 4 are really hitting a double, not hitting a flam, but hitting a double stop. Right there, mounts 2 and 4 are not hitting a flam, but they should be a true double stop. right? And keeping the motion as fluid as you can, okay? Okay, let's start back with the roll now. We'll play this in context. We'll try to keep that floating motion in 1 and 3. We'll try to keep the motion legato in the right hand, making sure our hands are coordinated, and then we'll create a beautiful 8-bar phrase crescendoing and decrescendoing, okay? 1, 2, 3, 1. Now, it's marked with the third measure, 1, 2, 3, the fourth measure. Now, it's marked with the fourth measure as being the arrival point with mezzo forte, but I hear this more as the fifth measure being the arrival point. So, again, there's no right or wrong necessarily. It's your interpretation, and some people might disagree with me and say that's totally wrong. It's marked mezzo forte on the fourth bar. So, it's your choice. You can kind of choose what feels musically appropriate to you. Let's play it once with the fifth measure being the arrival point. 1, 2, 3, 1. And so forth. And we'll go into that next section in the next video. Okay, so a very short phrase, but there's a lot going on in this section. And again, like in the previous A section, once you work out this coordination issue, you'll work out a lot of the technical things that might trip you up in the next section. So make sure you get this left hand motion and this right hand coordination interdependence going. Make sure that your musical line is very clear, fluid, and smooth. Good luck on this section. If you need any help, make sure you let us know in the comments section down below. If you have any additional questions, send us a comment. If you have other suggestions, leave us a comment. This is about interacting with each other as we're working on this piece and learning it. And we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.